creation. A world on the brink. In the age of sorrows, dangers abound, and cataclysms loom on the horizon. But it is not without heroes. The exalted, those chosen and empowered by the mightiest of the gods, are all around the world. They have, and can, pull back from the precipice of oblivion. That is when they aren't too busy fighting each other. Now, chills as Aurora.
You know, I quite liked the accent. I might want to bring it back for a future episode.
Korak as Lythander.
I'm gonna kill God and replace him with anime.
Alatos as Gavel, the hammer of the Yozi.
This may not be a monster mash, but it's sure to be a graveyard smash.
And GamerX as everyone else. This podcast is now a shadow game! Let's work together to save the dreaming sea, and perhaps reality itself, from the greatest threat creation has ever known. All this and more on FateBreakers.
Da 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 da.
No, Aurora, don't shoot the camera like James Bond!
Bang.
Quick.
Unfortunately, the painter that was making a canvas painting of this scene unfortunately died due to a misfire, and then suddenly brought back due to mushroom necromancy.
And now his ghost is going to tell us what happened last time.
No, actually, that person we're talking about is purely hypothetical, so they don't exist because I'm not using Gentimians in this campaign. I don't like people who could just gaslight as their main core power set.
That's Sidereal.
Yes, I know they'd be particularly appropriate for a campaign called FateBreakers, but...
Isn't that just what a Sidereal does?
They make fate. And in doing so also break it, but the point is that I don't want to use them. Fuck them. What's
Rex? Rex? I got a great idea. Okay. I need you to write it down. When we do the next April Fool's episode, we're going to call it Fake Breakers. We're going to have another new set of characters.
Oh, we'll probably be done with Exalted by next April Fool's. Well, we almost certainly will be done by then, but we could return there for a one-shot. Perhaps that...
Depending on what system or campaign we're doing at the time, we can most certainly think of something.
Yeah, by the time we finish Exalted, I will at least take a couple of months off of GMing just to live my life and get ready for and pick the next game.
Let's go healthy
Somnia,
living.
What happened last time? Someone fucked my love, and I didn't even get to watch from the chair dressed as Superman.
I wonder who did that.
No, not the fucking Star Devil, the ocean.
I wonder who did that.
Someone's fucking the ocean. Without me.
I wonder who did that.
No, it's someone who's...
Perchance the ocean.
Yeah, you'd have to be really big to fuck the ocean, I would think. Quick note to the audience before anything else. I have a little bit of a sore throat this episode. I'm going to be taking a few throat drops intermittently throughout the episode. But it shouldn't interrupt things too much, as long as players talk a little bit more than never. Anyway, yeah, so last session, as part of the wind-up to the war against Prasad, the team regrouped after conquering, liberating Madara, and started gathering allies and planning a line of attack against the people who tried to murder them and all their loved ones several times by now. In doing so, a Sidereal acquaintance, let's say. Ally is not the right word. He very much is not a fan of what you guys are doing, but he gave you some points of direction of conquering all of Prasad. They have thousands of dragon-blooded, and they far outnumber you, even if you are individually stronger than than a Deeb at this point. So that would be a hell of a task for just you guys, and would require way more firepower and more time and build-up. If you just want to defang the dragon, that would be much more accomplishable in a short time frame.
Defang the dragon.
That poor dragon lost their balls. Anyways.
I shoved him up my...
Going up to roll 20. Oh god, do I have roll 20 open? Yes, I do. I just don't have the campaign open. As I am going to quickly
I was just about
run
to
to
say.
the map. There is one prospective ally that has been pitched to you guys after getting the Tiger's Nest Coalition and forcefully Madara itself on your side. The Eye of the Killing Storm is not too far away from... It's about equidistant from where you are from Prasad. So it would take a couple months of It would take at least a month, possibly more, of travel. Oh, that is odd. My keyboard is doing some weird-ass shortcuts with the zoom key, but it only interrupted the Discord call. Anyway, Tiger's Nest Coalition is up here, and the eyeballs you are looking for is over about this away. About the same distance as Kamthahar is from where you are right now. In order to, as a brief recap, Lythander, you would at least know that the man Bloodnail exists as another lunar warlord in the area, but unlike everyone else, he's pretty fucking reclusive. Sticks himself and commands his armies pretty much from afar. Getting to the guy is almost as difficult as getting an audience with him. Personally, he's just kind of a hermit, at least as far as you're aware. Powerful too, and he's been there for centuries at bare minimum. And he has united a couple of local tribal coalitions like what you guys just did, and has established a base called the Eye of the Killing Storm. Kind of a trading post for a lot of nomadic people in the southeastern steppes of the Dreaming Sea. It's like that and the Tiger's Nest are the main holdouts against Prasad and their massive firepower and water power and air power and earth power and wood power.
Wood power?
Yeah, it's wood is the fifth element.
Gotcha.
You might also be aware that it would be a lot hotter when you go down there because it's closer to it's the furthest south any of you guys have probably ever been in your life. Not to the point where you're getting to the elemental pole of fire or anything and would thus immediately burst into flame, but things are definitely going to go up by a couple of degrees on the thermometer, which could prove troublesome and is why I'm justifying a travel venture in part. And is there any other conversations you guys want to have with any of your allies or each other before setting off on the big hike to the Murder City?
I'd like to have a conversation
Thank
with
God,
Gavel.
gives you a little bit of time to take this throat drop.
So Gavel,
Oh,
yes.
Hello,
I
Aurora.
was hoping we could speak about something.
Of course.
It's been nagging at me for a little while now.
Of course. Please, speak your piece.
You've been commanding a force for how long now?
Oh, let's see. Are you talking about the current size of this, or before I met you two?
Either or.
Then we'll chalk it up to about, maybe 20 years or so at this point.
How much war have you seen?
I mean, besides the skirmishes that me and my humble group have waged on Prasad over the years, probably one, maybe two, that you could consider a full-scale war.
I guess kind of it feels like enough beating around the bush, but I was hoping I could get I could get your advice on some tips for helping my mentality
On?
on killing.
Oh, this is what it's about.
It's been bugging me ever since we finished our business in Malthius.
I see.
I believe it was the first time I ever took it upon myself to decide another's fate in that way. I knew that there was no other way out, and that ultimately the decision was for the good of everyone involved. But it still weighs on me in a way. It felt odd. It's hard for me to describe. But I know that death, that being decisive when it comes to interference is the right of the exalted. It is the duty of those put on this earth with the power to protect and restore balance. It's something I never thought I'd have to do. I guess I convinced myself over time that I thought I could just, if I was sly enough and cunning enough and perceptive enough, I could end every conflict without a fatality. But having been in the conflicts we've had, I've come to terms with the fact that there are a lot of people in this world that you just cannot talk down, no matter how much you speak.
I see. This has been weighing on you for quite some time, hasn't it?
Yes, it has.
Well, here, pull up a seat.
I pull out I assume we have, like, seats available close
I'm
by.
assuming this is happening in, like, Gavel's Big Cheese Commander of Big Shit Army tent.
Indeed.
One of those foldable chairs that just set it aside.
For some reason, like, a couple of soldiers come bring you drinks and refreshments. They drop off a small, reddish, like, fist-sized powder of, like, pellet of powder. Like a medicine bag or something by each of these.
Oh. Huh. Thank you. You are dismissed.
From Stargazer's compliments.
I see. Well, he certainly knows the right time to bring the things I'm most needing now, doesn't he?
Fortitude sagacity to figure out what this is. Add your command rating.
Ooh, okay. Yes.
Also,
Fortitude
background
sagacity.
roll of holy shit, 9 successes on 9 dice from Stargazer. Which is what allowed him to do this at all.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy. So, plus my command. 6 successes.
This is a dose of age-starving cordial. It's only 1 dose each, so unlike in real life, there's a lot of magic bullshit in Exalted. There's a lot of different ways to attain immortality, but no one has ever found a source of unconditional immortality yet. And that's one of the hard rules of magic in the setting. Age extension, however, is possible. This is a dose of really rare and hard to make medicine that, if you take this regularly, your lifespan extends by 25%. Just flat.
Wow.
And this works even for those with exalted lifespans. For a dragon blood, this would add another
impressive.
100 years of life. For someone like you, it would probably add 500. The issue is you need to keep taking it. This appears to be a demonstration from Stargazer that he is now capable of making this shit.
Huh. Well, I'm not going to dissuade Stargazer's good gifts. So, Gavel will have some and encourage Aura to do so as well.
Now, unfortunately, even he can't make medicine taste good. It tastes like medicine. Bitter.
Ugh! My throat is, like, it instantly made my throat dry.
By the Yosi. Why didn't I pick the charm that lets me eat anything?
All right, now,
Oh, boy,
where were we? Oh, yes.
that's bitter. All right.
Would it set your mind at ease if I told you the first time I ever took a life?
Go ahead, if you feel comfortable with that.
It was, well, we've been on campaign for so much time now, it's even hard to think of the days, months, if not that we've all been traveling together as a group. So, I think at the very least, while the others of the Ashen Ones all more or less sort of know where I come from, I believe it's time that you should as well. Well, the first time I ever killed someone was when I exalted. In fact, it was that exaltation, or it was when I had caused that death that activated my exaltation. Which, the fact that I am one of the Yozi's champions probably has something to do with it, but that is neither here nor there. Do you know what I felt in that moment when I put my fist through that priest's heart all those years ago? I'm asking you genuinely, Aura. Do you wish to guess?
Were you afraid?
The strange thing is, no, I wasn't. I was bitter. I was angry. I was jaded. I had nothing but hate and contempt in my heart. For the environment I was living in, for the people quite literally above me. And so, the moment I had an opportunity to strike back, I did. It was more for me than it was for the other people that were around me in that, down below in that church. I hadn't even known that asshole had been siphoning our prayers and our studies for his own personal gains. Had I known that, I would have done something sooner, but I was but a well, older child, I suppose. All those days, all those months, time passing without even realizing it, stuck beneath that church, learning day in and day out, disciplined with a ruler, making sure that I was getting the proper lessons that I was being taught. Any sort of curiosities about the outside world, anything that didn't involve the studies that were prescribed by that particular priest, were quite quickly snuffed out. And I resented him for it. I resented all of them for it. The only spark of any sort of light in that past life of mine was from my mother figure. Hells, I don't even know if she was even my real mother. But, regardless, when I had struck through that priest's heart with my fist and had exalted into the woman I am now, it was all in hatred. It was all in contempt. Not for everything we all had been through, but it was for me. A selfish kill. Although I don't regret my actions for having helped everyone down there escape, myself included, I do partially regret the way that it could have been handled. After I had initially killed that one priest, I had gone on a bit of a, what some people would later refer to as a blood frenzy. Knowing I had the power to now strike back, I overstepped my boundaries. I let the hatred in my heart that I had been keeping inside for years finally spill over, doing atrocious acts, and eventually burning down that church with the assistance of that priest, the ones who are still alive anyway, still inside. To this day, all those deaths weigh upon me. Their deaths, and every life I've taken up to this road here, weigh on me. To say that a death with no weight is to be a commonplace perception is quite simply foolish. Or, should that person be disturbed enough, I would say that the death that they take upon themselves is for another cause, another perversion. I suppose what I'm trying to say is, Aura, death is never easy. It's never kind. It's never nothing. Death always has something to it. And even amongst how this world is structured with reincarnations and everything, it never gets easy. I may put on this bravado, and I may do what I have to do for the sake of my people, and to ensure that the people of this continent can live their own lives, to make sure that they get the same sort of freedoms I was able to achieve. But all that bloodshed, every single death blow that I caused, weighs on me every single day. And that's my view on how you should take to the art of killing. Does that make sense?
Yes. I've always enjoyed hearing the stories of the people around me, those in similar boats to me. I feel like as I understand more and more the people I work with, it highlights a lot of my inexperiences. How much I was born, how much I avoided at birth, how many things I've yet to really experience, how many things I've got yet to learn. I won't turn away from it, from death anymore. I can recall that for as many things as I can say about Glow, he wasn't a killer. He didn't have the conviction necessary to decide another person's fate with his own hands. And I suppose that as a consequence, I never learned it either until now. All that I want to do is create a better world for the people that need it. To share the gifts that I've been bestowed. For whatever reason, that I was chosen and others were left behind. And I have cursed that decision, and I have cursed the decision of the gods until this very moment. There must have been a reason why I was the one to be chosen. And I want to make sure that that decision leads to good things in this world. So I'd been hiding away from the thought, thinking that it wasn't the right of the strong to decide the fate of the world. It was the right of the people who really need things to go right for them. The people who struggle and fight with whatever strength they have left, whatever meager strength, against the tidal wave that is the places as they reside in, things they cannot control. I find myself smitten by that relentless determination. That's why I want to do right for them.
Darn it. All right. Gavel takes
Thank you, Rex.
Gavel takes another sip of her of the brew that Stargazer helped provide, and after wincing a bit at the taste, clears her throat. Aurora, may I confess something to you?
Go ahead.
I do not say this as any sort of hyperbole or without any weight to it. In fact, I rarely say these kinds of words at all, but Aura, you're a good person. Truly, I mean that. And I'm glad to call you my friend. You and Lythander both, though I would be hard stretched to admit it in front of him. But
He does have trouble opening up.
truly, I don't think I could have gotten this far without the help of you two. Come what may, no matter what happens on this campaign of ours, no matter what end we seek, or what end comes for us, I want you to know that I am quite proud to have served alongside both you, Lythander, Niue, everyone. I hold no regrets in this life, and I can only hope that in my next life I can still say the same thing.
Thank you, boss. It's, the feeling's mutual. It makes me happy to hear you say it. I'll follow you. I'll follow you till the world is changed for the better.
Indeed.
Come what may. I'll make it happen.
And, this is a bit awkward for me to ask you, but could you make me a promise?
What is it?
If my path ever strays, if I start to let that hatred, that girl of my past takes over again, I want you and Lythander to be the ones to set me straight. Alright? Help me get on the path if I am to stray.
Of course. That's what friends are for.
Alright.
With one condition.
And what might that be?
Did you do the same for us?
Of course. After all, I am your boss, after all, am I not?
Quite right.
Alright.
Boss.
Come on. Daylight's burning.
All right.
First, both of you take a baked start
Hey!
for that. That was fucking amazing.
Cute.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, goodness.
Would mean to get that one.
Right. Second
in
of
there.
all, Lythander, I would like for you to make the first roll. You can also do the second one as an optional jape if you want.
What is the first roll for? Sorry.
Fortitude plus either integrity or navigate, your choice.
I mean, I didn't want... I'm not gonna be in here if that's what the roll's for.
Not necessarily. This is for something else.
Okay. And you said it was force plus...
Fortitude, integrity, or navigate, and add your essence, which is 4.
to
as
the
dice.
Okay.
Yeah, to the dice.
Alrighty, so that's gonna be 11 d10 greater than 7s.
Difficulty 7, so you, yeah.
9 successes.
What are you doing, while this conversation is going on? Like, day-to-day routine, or any magical preparations, playing with or socializing your mushroom kids? What's Lythander up to right now?
Lythander is sleeping, trying to recover from the injuries he has sustained. Not from combat, but from other things.
Yeah, exertion. While you will physically be back to normal by the time you wake, thanks
Mentally.
to exalted healing, your dreams are an existential horror nightmare the likes of which you've never had before. That seem unrelated to anything, and you're a learned enough scholar to realize, wait, dreams should reflect some of my personal experiences, but I don't ever remember being in the freezing north. What the fuck? I don't remember skydiving while being pecked apart by giant birds. As you are...
I don't remember being naked.
Ever. Yeah, you've never been naked once in your life. Not even during the events of the past few episodes ago. Anyway, you experience a cavalcade of nightmares and terrors, and at some point you feel Somnia, the demon that Gavel summoned recently, pop in, and then she just immediately leaves. Like whatever you were dreaming about was, and you don't really remember these specifics about it when you wake. Like the human brain is not designed to hold those memories in store. But when you wake, like in your personal tent or inside the Gavel, perhaps even, depending on where you're staying at the time, every single bad omen you could think of is happening all around you. Any mirrors nearby broken. All the shadows fucked up, no matter what the light sources are. All of the all the cats black. Your shoelaces tied together. All the local wildlife dead, corpses everywhere. Something real fucking bad is happening in the underworld right now.
I wonder what this could mean.
From succeeding at a 7, you have a pretty...
I got 9.
Oh yeah, you have a pretty good idea of the category of being this is, even if you don't know these specifics. Remember how primordials are made up of all the different pantheons of subsouls?
Yeah.
The Neverborn technically have something like that, although they've been kind of imploded and mutated onto each other like a fucking nightmarish flesh mash. A hecaton Kyre is what they're referred to as. No one of them are alike, and almost all of them are completely mindless or acting on what respective Neverborns they're part of pain and agony. Something along the lines of that power. In terms of where they range on the spiritual power scale, they could go anywhere from the weakest second circle demons to the mightiest third circles.
I see.
So it could be anywhere on the spectrum of, we can handle this, to, oh god, it's gonna be Eeld all over again.
This could be bad.
Yes, although Eilda wasn't even one of the combat-focused third circle souls. That was only his secondary pool. This could be worse. And I do think that the bad vibes around camp is pretty apparent to everyone. It's Lythander who knows what these kinds of signs of the nightmares plus everything going wrong all at once could signify. Of something bad is nearby downstairs.
Things are messed up.
Nui takes a sip of her own tea. By things, do you mean, like...
Bad.
I have the spirit sight on, and I don't see anything around us right now.
Underworld. Bad.
Oh, how bad are we talking?
Underworld. Nightmare. Sorry, let me do this in Lythander's voice. Nightmare. Oh god, it's a nightmare.
Is she here?
I don't think so, but...
This would be This would probably be one of her lieutenants, you would guess, or one of her right-hand attack beasts.
I can feel her right hand gripping me.
Okay, are you actually being serious in that, or are you,
Do I sound like I'm being unserious?
Well, you keep phrasing things in a horny way.
How was any of that being horny?
The implication.
Yes.
That's the joke.
Yeah.
No, things are bad. Why?
One other detail. You would get the intention of a direction that thing was headed. West.
What? It's going to the west. It's going to the west.
About Hirish, you might say.
Yes.
It's headed to Kamthahar. It's headed to Prasad.
May the Prasadis know peace, I guess.
Yeah, if you're not going to directly talk to the rest of the gang before we go on to this venture, I would relay, hey, there's a big fucking ghost coming this way.
Hey guys. Thing's bad. Thing really bad.
What do you mean by bad?
There's a giant ghost demon coming for us.
Let's see. I think I have a charm for this. Let me see.
It can't pierce. Spirit Cunning Glance can't detect across dimensions.
Darn it. All right. Oh, it's across dimension. Fair
Yes,
enough.
it's in the netherworld.
I see. Fair enough. All right. Well, do you have any other idea on how we should start getting our defenses ready in case this is an enemy?
Yes, it is an enemy.
Oh, great. All right.
A strong one at that.
Well, let's round up the troops and get
Oh no, I don't
started.
think our troops are going to be able to help that much.
Why?
It's that strong.
Do we need to get the,
We need to get
do we
out
need
of
to
here.
Okay, fine. Yes. Or start rounding up as many of the troops as you can. It's time for a full-scale retreat.
You got it.
Is it
Alright, everybody!
as bad as I said it was, or no?
You would also know it's headed in the opposite direction from you.
Oh, well, it's not going this way, sorry.
Oh, Yozy!
It's going towards Prasad.
That is not instantly a good thing, but...
No, that's
still...
very much a bad thing. I know there are enemies right now, but...
But we also don't know if it's the enemy of our enemy as well.
Yes. Well, no, we know it's the enemy of our enemy.
Either way...
It feels like final glimmers of hope.
Fallen star.
Yeah,
Or
sorry.
final glimmer.
Final glimmer is Aura.
Oh, that makes things even worse.
I know. That's why it might... Well, there's a couple of things we could do.
Aura, cancel that order!
Never mind, Parker, you're on fire.
Alright, roll it
Pictures of
back. Okay,
Spider-Man.
false alarm.
But at least it's going...
At ease again.
But at least it's going in the opposite direction.
For now.
Do we have any sort of... No, I don't think we do. I don't think we have any particular scout units that would be good at cross-dimensional observation.
Well, I mean, you have me, but...
Do you wish to go to Prasad and do some interdimensional spying?
Somnia just
think
materializes next to you. Isn't that what you brought me in here for?
Indeed it is.
I did see something
you?
last
Yeah.
night, but it was at the periphery of my network, and I was not taking another step closer to that. It probably would have killed me. Now, thankfully, I would have just reformed in Malpheus,
probably
but it would still be a year and a day I'd be out of commission. Pain in the ass.
It probably wouldn't be a good idea to send Lythander anyway. Considering how they think about, how they think of lunars, it wouldn't surprise me if they had some way to prevent weird, vaguely shaped animals from entering their domains.
That's a little rude, but, I mean, it makes sense.
Thinking of your safety, buddy.
Yes,
We gotta make sure we do this discreetly.
yes, I'd much rather prefer you didn't die at this point.
Yeah. They might fry you up.
You think of me as a friend that you don't want to die?
I didn't say that first part.
Oh, okay. That's fair.
I have no problem admitting that I think of you as a friend.
Well, you're not the tsundere of the group.
I'm not... What
That's
does that
true.
even mean?
That is
I
an
don't
old,
even know.
That is
I'm
an old
bokeh.
realm word for two-faced.
Actually,
I'm bokeh.
Gavel may know this from history books.
Yeah, you're both Sajat City 5. You know old realm.
Right.
I am not two-faced.
Wait, am I bokeh or am I Tsukome?
Although I'd like
Are
to
you
think
sure
that
about
I would like to think that old round would best be represented as Brazilian Portuguese. So that Chills could shitpost without any of us knowing.
That's fair.
Yeah. Fine, you're not two-faced, but you're not completely honest all the time.
I'm as honest as I need to be.
Yes, as I said, you're not honest all the time.
I mostly lie to our enemies.
Okay, then. I'm not sure if I want to believe you or not.
That is entirely at your discretion, but the fact remains I would much rather prefer you didn't die, if that means anything, from me. I'm saying I don't want you to die.
And I appreciate that.
You're a valuable comrade.
Oh. Alrighty.
Gavel frowns a bit. Damn you, Lythander, what do you want me to say?
That I'm your friend? That's all I'm literally asking!
Will it stop the waterworks if I mean it earnestly?
Maybe.
Fucking fine!
I appreciate
And Gavel's going to take a couple of steps back and deeply inhale. Lythander! You are my friend!
You are my friend! Whoa! I thank you. I appreciate you.
Oh, like tearing out fucking nails.
It's worse than tearing out nails. You're tearing out horns.
Says you.
Yes, because you're about to tear out my horns for suggesting that.
No, I'll think of something else later.
A wheelchair manifests behind
Thumbs up.
you as Emerald outside you grabs Lythander by his coattails. You know you don't need to lay it on that thick.
Yes, I do.
Some communication is best nonverbal, and you don't need to wring empty platitudes out of everyone like that.
When they're your friends for thousands of years, yes, you do.
Damn you.
Regardless, I have vague memories of interacting with that one in past lives, and no matter what no matter who they are, they've never been one for mushy shit.
I know. That's why I do this. It's funny. And they know that I love them as a friend.
Yes, as you insistently tell me, which does not go unappreciated, by the way.
Speaking of connections, I have a hunch that I feel I'm going to accompany you with this next leg of the journey, and before you ask, this chair is quite capable of hovering. But beyond that, I have some questions I'd like to ask the nail. And on that note, I had some more prophetic dreams about difficulties that will be on the way to his domain, almost all of which placed there by him. But there is one thing I feel like I should warn you about. I sensed ripples from Malpheus, one of which was from you binding, and she looks over to Somnia, that one, the boat, to your service. Yours wasn't the only one called in the region that night. Someone else bound a demon of equal power.
Do you know its nature, at least?
I believe it is a demon of Ceciline. I was able to tell that much. Law and Order, the desert.
Okay. I don't suppose you would know where this summoner would be located or where the summoning ritual took place.
Westward, which confusingly would mean that the highest likelihood of who would be able to do that is a Prasadi, but Dragon Bloods aren't supposed to be able to reach the second circle. So, Sidereal, most likely.
Great.
I did get an inkling as to its potential nature, though. For some reason, it just... You're familiar with Go, yes?
You're going to have to be a bit more specific.
She conjures a quick ripple of essence and makes an illusory game board much like this one.
Yes, I was always terrible at that game, no matter how many times I played it.
Really? Perhaps...
Yes, despite my learned history, I was never quite good at that game. I was much more of a physical contact sport kind of person.
I suppose that's why you got to the finals of that tournament. In any case, I saw the demon represented through this, if that's any clues at all. Which narrows it down to maybe a half dozen out of the tens of thousands down there.
It's certainly better than nothing, and, quite as you said, gives us a decently narrow list.
My best guess is that they called on a strategist of and war main of their own.
I suppose they're going to be treating us like this is a go match, while we're going to be treating this like boxing.
That would imply they wouldn't be able to change the rules of the game, is what I'm afraid this might be if it is Sigareth, which would probably be, for us, one of the more irksome ones to work around. Not dangerous, annoying.
Well, if it is a demon from Malthus, then we at least know what to expect.
In part, yes, the issue being that thanks to the All Thing, there were a number of shakeups, and I was not able to be at every panel at once, and I do know a number of Second Circles were able to interact with the rest of our host. God knows what new tricks they've learned from creation being imported.
Indeed.
This is probably a good place as any to start the long travel venture, then. As we are, in order to cross several France's worth of desert, we are going to need to do...
Finally, this hat has a practical
and
use.
a new eye patch.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh yeah, I have an eye
Out of
patch.
your face.
I forgot. Oh yeah, it's mushroom made.
Yeah.
It's like a parody version of the flower from Drakengard 3 with Zero.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
Mushroom mates. Why do you gotta put it? Mushroom mates.
I'm gonna need a difficulty for navigation or embassy check in terms of planning the movement of your troops. And even though you still have the Gavel and the Ashen Ones practically live, the Ashen Ones practically live there part-time at this point. You still have a handful of demonic troops on loan to you from Baal, even if they were the major chunk of casualties in the invasion of Madara, because they were the ones breaking down the front lines. Even in the almost infinite space of the Gaul, it can't create endless food. And yes, I know Lythander has the bottomless flask. There is only one flask, and there's thousands of mouths to feed. Between your 1,000 mortal troops, the demons that still do need the food and drink, thanks to the fucking shit that Ouroboros pulled, and them being afflicted with the curse of mortality, and a small group of chimeric war beasts that you were lent from Madara. There was a vote in Parliament, and they only authorized a scant handful of mortal troops of human troops to come with you, but they were much more willing to lend out their Pokemon legions to you.
Ah.
I'm going to attempt a navigate roll.
You do that.
Try to figure our way around this place. See if we can procure.
Yeah, you are in
site.
the shipbuilding section of the minigame right now in terms of organizing legions, doing logistic shits. I would also allow a war roll if Gavel would prefer to do that. Because this being about troop placement and management of resources.
Ah, okay. I thought this is okay.
Indeed, I have 5 in both embassy and war. Also, I forgot to ask this earlier. How's our health situation looking?
Everyone's back to full outside of dramatic injury. Actually, question to Lythander. Do you want to try helping Spider get out of being a potted plant, or do you want to leave him like that for a bit?
That's right.
I will attempt to get him out of being a potted plant.
Okay, this is going to be a roll-off for the first step of the venture in regards to countering Anna's Sin's magics. So your Force plus Sagacity and she is going to make her roll from her base in Yushan right now, where she's just doing stretches.
I am going to use a excellency.
Okay. Now, this doesn't mean failure outright. It just means a complication.
Okay, I mean,
I know what the complication
I'm just looking
is.
at it, it's like, I rolled pretty well, but that's 13 versus 8.
I know what the complication is. So before that,
Anybody wanna...
Gavel, go ahead and make that war roll, too. What's up?
I was gonna say, can I... no, a stunt wouldn't help there. Never mind. Well...
I know what the complication is, though.
Yeah, no, that's...
I'm gonna use an excellency. For war.
Mm-hmm. So, Lythander, as the troop movements are being planned and stuff, as the med tent is in the process of being packed up, you put down the spider plant on a med table and just start, I'm assuming, sprinkling mushrooms on top of him to try and fix him.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, you and the spider plant and the table are not in the tent anymore. You're in a very nice, ritzy dojo. Or at least, you see one flickering in and out of reality around you in comparison to the tent itself. Catching some of the mushrooms is a little skillet. And holding that skillet is a middle-aged woman with the sign of Mars glowing on her forehead. I'll give you this. These are very high-quality mushrooms.
Thank you.
Oh, hello. My name is Anna Sin. You must be the one trying to break this curse.
Yes, I'm here trying to help my friend.
The twist here, the complication here being, hey, she knows you're trying to break her shit and just astral projected you to her. Why?
Okay.
Oh, well, I suppose if he is your friend, that answers that question. My other point being is he won't be in a fighting condition even if you return him to human form.
I mean, does he need to be in fighting condition for me to want to protect him?
I suppose not, no. It'll be difficult, but I suppose it would be well within your power if you are who I assume you are.
Oh, I'm no one.
I'm gonna have her roll a quick awareness check to see if she could spot your tell with her using an excellency on this.
I said I'm no one. I didn't say that I was, lying. I'm not well known.
I don't know. She just rolled 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 successes, which pierces the tell's passive defense of 7.
Okay, but still, I'm not well known.
You might think that. You've killed a Sidereal at this point, seriously injured a few more. She would know who you are.
Not to, additionally, with the several second and third circle demons we've, defeated in battle in front of a bunch of people.
She reaches out with a spoon and just kind of pokes at the snaggletooth that you have common in all of your forms.
Why are you poking me? It hurts.
Well, I know what that tooth indicates. I know what a tell is at this rate.
Well, I never... Yes, that doesn't mean I'm important.
It means you are the lunar exalted known as Lythander of the Seething Moon, does it not?
Yes, I am Lythander the Seething Moon, so...
Well, then it would be within your power to break this curse with sufficient effort. My point being is he'll still be without all of his limbs, and you do need limbs to practice most martial arts that I'm aware of.
You see, you don't know this man here. He... doesn't need anything.
He did seem quite dead when I struck him down, and that he is still alive, I suppose you could say. Well, the jury is out on whether or not the Abyssal Exalted are alive or dead. It's some kind of in-between state. The point being is that this is semantics, and he'll still be without all of his limbs if you'll snap him back to human form.
What if I put everything back together and then did that?
Did you really think I only laid down one curse? Wait, actually, that's misspeaking. The limb loss wasn't me. That was heaven itself. As I lay down the first blow, That was supposed to have been a much harder fight, is the thing. He actually would have stood a chance against me, but I looked through some records after the fact, and he did indeed break an oath signed under the eyes of heaven. And as punishment for such, I suppose, what the lawmakers deemed fit was to lop off all of his limbs. I wasn't even trying to do that, to be honest. I was just trying to turn him into a plant, but I suppose my weapons were turned much more effective as a result of that. By the way, would you like to try some? And this whole conversation, she has been simmering your mushrooms into a stew. I'm rolling her secondary pool with an excellency to see how good that mushroom stew turns out.
Why are you eating my children without permission?
I have bad news, Lythander. Your children are delicious.
Well, I knew my children were delicious. That's why I made them.
She offers you a bowl of the mushroom soup she made, and it smells amazing. It's a full-on Shigeki no Soma moment. This is arguably the best cooking you've ever had.
Oh, that's quite interesting.
I've often told my colleagues that cooking is in and of itself a type of battle.
Where did you get these mushrooms? They don't look like my edible ones.
You were the one, you were sprinkling them onto Spider to cure him.
Oh. Why did you take those?
Oh, I didn't.
Those are medical grade.
Yes, they are. It's quite tasty.
Alrighty, prepare for your anus to be flushed out.
Oh, no,
okay.
I as part of the cooking process, I filed a complaint against the gods of diseases and poisons inside of there. I filed. They are restrained from
disease.
They are restrained from affecting my body in any averse way.
So you're saying that you got rid of their natural defense system?
Only for this batch of them, yes. Anyway, what are you going to do after you return into human form? I'm genuinely curious. And even though you could tell that this is a fucking bad news Sidereal, like I think in the book she's Essence 8.
Gotcha.
Goodness.
She's arguably one of the most dangerous Exalted around. And in the Sidereal's 3 ebook, she is the only character ever to be printed with, "Do not set her up against low-level PCs, she will wipe the floor with them," notice. She is the fucking demi-fiend fight of Exalted.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. And she's just casually talking over a bowl of soup with you.
It's really good.
No, I shouldn't
Now,
deserve all the
why
credit.
did you summon me here?
Oh, just to interrogate you as I sense you are trying to break the curse.
Is it really trying to break the curse if I'm trying to help a friend? I don't know why you even cursed them. I don't even know what they did to you.
He murdered hundreds of people.
No, he didn't. Did he?
Brief scene cut to the ending of the first episode of Invincible happening inside of the Madaran, bunker.
I don't think he did that.
He
would never be
I spoke
that
to what was
crass.
left of the corpses, and I can confirm he did that.
No.
Yes, I have I used a form under the authority of the Maiden of Endings herself to interrogate the deceased. Or the piles of meat that were the deceased at that rate.
I would like to think that he wouldn't be too terrible outside of our looks. But okay, I believe you. Now, why did you take his arms off, though?
Once again, that wasn't me. That was, heaven deciding what form that punishment should take. And unfortunately, it's going to be very difficult to put replacement limbs on there. And as a warning, I did see what martial art he was using on me. It was it was fascinating, don't get me wrong, but I'm reasonably sure you need limbs for that. And for the other styles he was trying to break out on me. Point is that the tiger's been defanged. Unless you can find more fangs to put in there. Of which I'm sure you can no doubt try, The issue being you're going to be fighting the will of heaven to do so. So I ask again, what's your plan for that?
I don't know.
I suppose it's sufficient for you to cross that bridge when you get there.
I mean, I know there's a giant ghost heading over to Prasad right now.
A factor of which we are well aware, and which is why, after I finish my lunch break, I will be calling the calibration gate down to deal with that personally.
That's good.
My point being... Actually, that does raise a second question I was going to issue on that front. You're on your way to Prasad right now, aren't you?
No.
Read intentions on you.
Okay.
Do you have anything that would boost your resolve or a major intimacy to tap?
Hatred of Prasad.
That counts.
It's major.
Yep, that counts. She isn't able to tell if you're lying on that front. Asterisk. For some reason, this doesn't proc the Sacred Hunt.
Okay.
She appears to
I
have some
mean,
kind
I
of
know
defense against shape stealing.
That's fair. I'm not complaining.
Right. In any case, she doesn't actually know if you're headed towards Prasad. I'm going to continue this next statement on the presumption that you were headed there. See,
But we're not.
if you are, and I don't necessarily know if you are, I'm going to be saying this next statement under the assumption that you are. Madara is about here-ish. Close enough to the Tiger's Nest Coalition and to the coast.
Ah.
Any case, if you are headed to Prasad, which I would reiterate what my coworkers have no doubt tell you is that that's a bad call. You would all get killed, and not and by you, I don't just mean you and the rest of your circle. I mean all of your mortal friends would be massacred down to a man as well. Even if the exact circumstances of that wild hunt didn't become clear, they would realize that they can't let an enemy that so thoroughly embarrassed them survive, and unlike past conquests that they've integrated into your empire, they would actually engage in genocide. I would think twice about bringing your troops there with you in factors of even beyond the houses or Orphis and Bowaro themselves. They have other divine backers with longer memories and more esoteric capabilities. Consider it a firmly written warning if you do decide to go there, which I'm not sure you do. Also, I would be obligated to stop you then, but I may or may not be in the area, and you may or may not be promising enough for me to smudge the ink on that promise. Do you know any martial arts, Lythander?
I know Sidereal martial arts.
Oh, show me!
I will perform it from memory.
Okay, you don't have any of the spiritual power in there, but she recognizes the kata, at least.
I was gonna say, I don't have to be... Like, it doesn't have to look nice. It just...
Oh yeah, it looks like absolute shit, but... Oh, that's... She has a very conflicted facial expression. See, I know that you're trying to do the prismatic array, but it's so sloppy.
Well, yes, I never said I can do it. I just said I know
Would you
of
like
it.
to?
No.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty
She's
sure.
making a cat smile at you.
Why would I want to do something that is going to hurt me in the long run?
Oh no, not necessarily in the long run.
Oh, just right away. Got it.
Yeah. You want to learn?
I'm good.
Aww. And she actually does kind of petulantly give an aw. It gives a much younger than she looks just slump. Very well. I suppose in that case, one other warning regarding this man. what little information we have gathered on him points to him being a Shampur gangbanger and, for lack of a better term, thug. Actually, no, she wouldn't use that term. Gangbanger and, for lack of a better term, a common street urchin criminal. You are likely going to have to kill him at some point, given what little we know about him having already taken several lives before the last breath occurred to him. All of the effort you're going to sink into this will probably go for nothing, is my 2 cents.
You think
Would
so?
you like to do arena intentions on her?
Yes, please.
Alright, your choice of embassy or awareness. Plus fortitude.
Plus fortitude. What? I have 3 embassy plus fortitude. You said fortitude, right? Ha! Ha! 1.
She definitely has ulterior motives to this, but she is absolutely practiced and old enough to know how to control her face. You're not sure what her other angle is. Other than the fact she probably has one. Well, that's just my 2 cents in the factor. With this connection I've established, I won't actually be able to physically interact you beyond that one olive branch I extended, so I will be watching the process, though. I'm very curious about how you want to do it. Next step is going to be, it's going to be your choice of a craft or sagacity check.
What type of check?
A choice of
Craft
what?
or sagacity.
Sagacity.
Ah, okay.
And this one is not opposed. It is against the base difficulty of 7.
I'm gonna prop an excellency in there.
Okay.
That is going to be 15. Sorry,
Holy
no,
shit.
13. Because that's going to be 13. 13 successes.
First obstacle. So that is going to be, if that's 15, that's going to be an overflow of, Hey, Lythander, would you like to add a funny side effect to Spider's restored form?
He has extendo arms and extendo fingers. Stretchy arms and extendo fingers.
Like Finn from Adventure Time's replacement arms?
Like XJ9.
Alright, this will come with a side effect, but yeah. However, you realize that, well, you're able to restore the physical form just fine, after, several hours of concerted effort in this mind space, and honestly, just kind of watching you and cooking a full-course meal in the background. Using more of the discarded and unused mushrooms. However, when you restore his human form, he's just kind of lying on the floor unresponsive. His soul is trapped in a completely separate curse.
Well, we at least got the body back to normal. Body
And
is back to normal, right?
Except for the limbs, yeah, you notice plant buds inside of there, which could perhaps spout into some other limb configurations over time, but any correspondence with martial arts would take a lot of physical therapy adjustment, and may not even be compatible with some forms. Depends on the essence flow. And it depends on how he would adapt to a long-term disability. You've created very whack-ass replacement limbs.
Yeah, boy!
Now you're going to need to do your choice of a presence or integrity roll to contact Spider's soul and get him out of the mind palace.
What about performance?
I got this one.
What's up?
What about performance?
I got this one. I can do it integrity.
How are you providing your integrity score to Lythander?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought we'd all.
No,
we'd all get
Addison
help.
is trapped in her mind dojo.
Okay, that's unfortunate. Although I guess I could try to aid him somehow,
Are you even in the room?
if at all possible.
The rest
I
of
don't
you
know.
come across
Am I?
Lythander conked out on the floor next to the spider plant.
Oh, man.
For some reason, there is a
let you-
bowl of soup made of incredibly fine china next to him.
Is there anything in this bowl?
Hopkins immediately screams at it and kicks it over. One of them's here! One of them's here!
Oh, great.
It's very good
Gavel.
soup, though.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
Celestial magic.
Oh, dear.
Gavel looks over to Lythander.
Well, it was difficulty 5 to
Yeah.
do it, so you do manage to get in touch with Spider. The fuck do you want? You also here to laugh at me, too.
Is this to Lythander?
Yeah, that's Spider to Lythander.
Why would I ever laugh at you?
If you're here in touch with me, you saw what happened to my body out there.
Yes. And?
All of my ambitions to take on the fucking world and bring all the worlds to understand the Neverborn's pain and punch us out of Sidereal and kill all the heroes of the world, just cut like a puppet's strings. I saw what's happened to me out there. My limbs are gone. Even if I come back, what's the fucking point if I can't do any of my cool, death tricks?
I mean, I gave you stretchy arms and extendo fingers.
Did you?
Yes.
And how much of those are compatible with the essence of death itself, you think?
I mean, mushrooms are ditrovores. They do eat decay. They do
And they
feed
return
upon
things
death.
back into the cycle of life.
Yes,
Thus, they're
by
not
feeding on
truly
death.
dead.
But they feed upon death and solely death.
Yes, but they also recontribute back to the cycle of life, is the issue.
Oh, they're just replacements for the moment.
Yeah, for the moment. As I was plantifying, I could tell that some really powerful shit was, like, from the sun itself, laid down onto my limb stumps. They're not gonna let me get that shit back anytime soon.
Yeah.
Right as I was about to make a name for myself, I had just finished purging myself of all those unwanted emotions, too.
Now you have to feel those emotions. How does it feel?
It feels like shit, man.
Exactly! And do you know what you
Why
gotta
do you even
do?
care so much?
Have I ever told you you're my friend?
Yeah, and I still don't understand why, given how many veiled threats I've thrown at all of your fucking cronies.
You think I care about them?
I thought you did. Do you not?
I do. But think of the bit.
It will be a pretty good bit when I kill them when they're not looking.
No, but...
He's giving you the Puss in Boots cat eyes now. Please, just a little bit of ripping.
no,
Gavel
you do
in
not
half,
get
that
a crumb of death.
The cat eyes intensify.
No. No, final offer, you get 10 cents. I don't even know what cents are, but you get 10 of them at least.
He's making this face naturally. We're gonna figure out the specifics of that offer later, perhaps. In any case, you are able to drag him kicking and screaming out of the shame cube of the soul.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, before you guys wake up from the nap, a brief, you were able to get him back up and kicking. Spider, if you do manage to get back into fighting shape again, I would love a rematch. Go fuck yourself! Suppose that's what I expected. Still, that offer is on the table. He rockets himself up via a twitch of his hips and tries to headbutt her. Let's actually roll a dice boosted by an excellency for him to see how successful that is. Scrolling down, because... Oh shit, he actually connects.
Oh.
Give me a moment, I didn't think he'd actually be able to hit her defense. Actually, you know what? Yeah, I've got it. She is able to, with the little scarf that she's wearing, she turns what would have been remember how Goku took down King Piccolo?
Yeah.
He was gonna do that to her.
Nice.
Just headbutt his way through her. However, due to defensive magic that she has developed over many, many years of sidereal martial arts shit, instead, all of the mirrors in this room around her explode as her reflection is detonated through. As her true self is left unharmed, but as you wake up from the dream, she no longer has a reflection. Which has some metaphysical implications, as we'll get into it later. But, you wake up and all of a sudden in a mushroom cloud of spores, Spider sans limbs is brought back out of the plant. And is sailing through the air and careens right through Gavel's tent wall. You bitch! He's screaming at no one in particular, apparently. Anyone gonna go pick him up?
No.
I.
Hi, how does this feel?
You know what?
How are
Sure.
you feeling there, buddy? You feel like you got them?
I think I did manage to land a hit in, actually, so I do feel a little better. Thanks for
That's
asking.
good.
Well, I'm glad you're happy, pal.
Now,
Oh, you're the one who did this to me.
well, you're the one who broke the oath.
No, that's not true.
It was your fucking oath that got all my limbs lopped off.
And who was the one who broke the oath?
It was your decision to break the. It was your decision to break the oath that got you in this point to begin
And
with.
how was I supposed to know the guy who lifted the consequences would put them back on? It's not my fault. Nothing's my fault.
That's... no, that... don't
Right.
say that. You know that's not true.
Does he?
Yes.
He doesn't.
He's my friend, he does.
I think at this point, like, just one of the Ash ones walking as you say he's your friend. Why? Oh, sorry. Why, sir?
Why
Yeah.
not?
They give you a look like you're out of your fucking mind,
I
and
am.
then just keep walking.
Glad they noticed.
You gonna need any? You gonna need replacement limbs? Or you think you could just fight the way you are?
Spider is going to spend a mote and concentrate as hard as he can, and a little flower pops out.
That shouldn't be there.
Its petals curled into the shape of a middle finger.
That shouldn't be there. That should be mushrooms, not flowers.
Confusing.
I wasn't even.
Why is there
I
a
wasn't even
flower?
trying to be sarcastic. I genuinely wanted to ask you if you needed
How is there a
replacement limbs.
flower?
It's odd, isn't it?
What happened? Why are you blonde with a purple highlight in the middle of your hair?
What? What is that a reference to?
Odd.
Oh,
Code
okay.
Lyoko.
Okay. Back to the fucking war venture as Gavel, I'm seeing, sees all this nonsense happening and then just keeps walking. As she's just fucking
Pretty
supervising the caravans.
Code Lyoko.
Gavel saw Lythander's Lythander's conked out body, and then all of that happened. It's like, well, just another day, I suppose, with Lythander.
What, there was a Sidereal spying a camp? Are they gone? Okay, back to work. Alright, that was you did roll for that first step of the venture?
Yes, that was the roll for the first step of the venture. That is 8 successes.
Alright, that is a pretty big success with just a difficulty for route planning. Let me see what you could get with those 4 overflow successes. You could gain
Goodness sakes, 4?
Yep, you could gain a temporary familiar that you encounter in the wild, and I do have an idea of what that would be. That would be 2 successes.
Okay.
You could get a reputation boost to get +1 to social rules for those who've heard of you. Ooh. You could put in a maximum of 3 successes for that. You could also make a nice, make a very accurate map of the area, which could be important depending on what terrain features manifest.
How many successes would that one be?
1, and you could put 5 into those.
Oh, really? Wow. let's do this. I'll put in 2 successes for the map,
Okay.
and I'll put in 2 of the other 2 successes for the temporary familiar.
Okay, so let's start with the map first. As you get, effectively, you're probably using Somnia, piggybacking on the dreams of local animals and other spirits and people in the area to make a dream map.
Yes.
You get a pretty accurate scale of what you as players are looking at of the world map, at least of this quadrant of creation right now. With a small handful of noticeable exceptions. The first and most noteworthy of which is what you could describe as like a haze of mist and clouds stretching from the Eye of the Killing Storm about here, extending back to Ysir.
Okay.
Somnia just kind of shrugs if you ask for an extension about that. As far as I can tell, it's someone projecting a sphere of influence. So my best guess is that there is someone big and powerful from Ysir there. The issue being they're not supposed to have someone that powerful in Ysir. Like, it's a bunch of sorcerers, but mortals can only get to the first circle. And it would take like a really powerful god or spirit or an exalt to do that.
Okay.
It also doesn't really match with any exalted color flares you're aware of. No one is pure white in terms of anima. Like, that's a color that kind of falls outside the normal range of expectations. Perfect memory recall, with one exception.
Oh.
Remember the economy?
No.
Yeah.
Who would remember the economy? I mean, they were just the first major boss.
Their anima had a lot of white and auroral overtones.
Oh, great. Excellent.
I have good news and bad news for you.
Uh-huh.
The good news is if you check the Gavel, the Heart Eater skeleton is still there.
Good. Thank goodness. Bad news.
The bad news is if this is another Heart Eater, it would mean another fucking Heart Eater.
Another game of Among Us all over again.
Mungy Mondays, baby.
All right.
Okay, now for the tertiary familiar.
Yes.
A couple days into the journey there, you are approached by what you quickly recognize as a more feral kind of god. A dog of the earth, they're called, the gods of roads.
Oh.
The thing is, it walks right into your camp, which as a spirit and god of the wilderness, they should not be able to do because they fucking hate civilization. It just seems to... And you could swear you see a twitch of pure rage in its face before it walks into your tent and plops itself right next to Hopkins, who is lying on the floor in a very uncomfortable looking configuration because he can walk on 2 legs now.
Oh.
It just kind of sniffs it.
Well,
Yeah, just random
then.
dog. Asterisk. This is a god. You know that much.
Caution. A wild elephant has placed itself between you and your
It's a god
things.
dog, so smaller in size, but these things are normally not... These things are stuff like it would take very skilled soldiers or an exalt to deal with. Or at least a wizard.
well, isn't that a thing?
Yes, isn't it? These things aren't supposed to be able to talk.
Oh. How are you able to speak?
What? Can't a bitch do as she pleases? God forbid women do anything.
I don't...
That's what I'm saying.
I don't disagree. I'm more so asking abstractly.
Oh, as for how, it would probably be my main body speaking through this pawn.
main body. Which would be...
I saw what you did to the last one of my kind. Why would I give you ammunition to use against me?
Oh, Yosi. Yeah, fine, fair.
And she just kind of leans back in the dog that she's hijacking and just kind of scratches at the neck of her, at the back of her things. Scratches her ears.
Please don't infect my troops.
Oh,
I need them.
Before you worry about that, don't worry. I'm not interested in immortals.
Gavel just stares at the new arrival dog.
I know you have Danes to take over and conquer heaven, and perhaps beyond more of that, Prasad. I could help with that.
Prasad. And what do you get out of the arrangement?
I want to take over their pantheon.
To what end?
To make the world a better place, just like you.
I've been hearing a lot.
Can I read intentions?
If you're there, then yes. She would absolutely be activating.
Yes, I've been.
She's going to fire up guarded mind mentality. To raise that difficulty by her essence
I'm
of 4.
going to try something.
If this doesn't work, I have a backup plan.
And I should note,
here it is! Mode of discerning technique!
Alright, feel free to pop some motes and ask some questions.
Alright. Let's go for one mote. What do I have that someone here wants? Why is the dog in our house?
She is going to spend a mote on sacrificial pawn facet or pawn's facet deflection, and replace that response with what intimacies her current object would be more associated with.
Wow.
The dog wants to destroy your shelter. You have no idea what the Heart Eater's thinking. And normally you should be able to pierce deceptions like that. This is some weird shit of getting a false positive you're pretty sure about. She fired an Uno reverse card on you.
Let's see. If I have anything against that. Integrity protecting principle, aspect of the virtuous warrior. 3 resolve against instill. No, this is a defensive charm. 2 motes when Solar attempts to convince a target. No. Masquerade is something to which I have an intimacy. No, that's not true.
Unless you have an intimacy towards gods in general, or
the
dogs
dog
of the unbroken earth as this god category. I should have these. This is like in essence one god. This is not a very strong spirit.
Aha!
Oh, you found something?
Oh yeah, I'm not at active yet. I'm not at active aura yet, or active anima yet.
You could
so
drain
I can't
essence
do,
from your Hearthstone if you want.
Harmonious presence meditation.
You could pop the anima you have stored in your battery Hearthstone to get to active.
For some kind of read intentions tech. I guess. Let's see. I try to put myself at active and just try that reading tensions roll with an
you being at
automatic
active,
success.
this pawn is still a spirit, so your Eclipse Truce field does turn on.
Alright.
So the Heart Eater can't do anything to physically hurt you.
Alright, that's 8
Solar
successes.
ties.
Indeed they do. And if they didn't, Zeal.
Yep. That's gonna be a pain in the fucking ass going forward. I shouldn't have showed you that charm, but it's on the playbook and you have the stats for it, so your purchase is your purchase. In any case. Let's go back to that question again. As you see through that, in like reading the intentions, you could tell she was like allowing the spirit to momentarily regain control of some of its face and faculties in order to try and throw you off the tail. She knows that you know that you know that she knows. But what she doesn't know is that you know that she knows that you knows that she knows that you know.
Gasai.
So what was the question again? What do you have here that she wants?
Yeah, what do we have that she wants?
All of you. She wants your power in order to break down Prasad and take over in the rubble.
Oh, so she is counting on
You winning, yes.
us succeeding.
And offered to help.
Serve her own ends. So this is another Iolda situation, where we're being tasked to take down a powerful tyrannical force.
Are you?
To the tune that someone else is going to
Are
benefit
you?
from it. Alright.
She is going under the intention that you completely destroy the dragon-blooded polities.
Yeah, that's what I was assuming. I'm not saying any of
which
this
is the
out loud.
diegetic in-story reason, in addition to the time concerns, maybe why a complete military campaign of eradication, in addition to being morally wrong, is also against your interests because it lets this bitch take control.
Mm-hmm.
We already have Nem and Loki and that nonsense prepping for us.
She just kind of ambles on the spirit dog's haunches.
Now this allows me to think in some different terms. But I do still have some motes, and I still have some questions we can ask if anybody wants me to ask something else.
Things in the spirit of your question list. I can tell you one thing. I could tell you for free from how cagey and effective she's being at using her magic. This is something that the economy wasn't competent. This is a hard eater.
Who's really an authority here? Who's really an authority here is an interesting one we could ask. Depending on how we spin it, we might be able to be like, who's really an authority as in... I mean, I guess that's kind of an obvious answer, like she is.
If you want to spend a mote for that, I could give you a little bit of a surprise, though.
Okay.
Ultimately, she is the one in authority about this with a major asterisk. She would not just come up and reveal, hi, I'm a Heart Eater who wants to take over the fucking Empire of Prasad, all of their pantheon, and hijack all of their gods. That's not someone who wouldn't go up to you if they didn't have sufficient backup they didn't control. Or more accurately, couldn't control. There's another Exalted that they're in league with, because another Exalt, as far as you're aware, and is actually true per rules text, the only thing completely immune to Heart Eater control is another Exalted. Or a spirit of higher essence than them.
Right. So there's another one.
She has an ally of some kind.
An ally higher up the pole than them, presumably.
Or an Exalt equal or lower power. That knows what they are and are still working with them.
Right.
And I don't know if you personally met a Met Shrike, so I don't think you could connect those dots.
The name is actually familiar.
You probably wouldn't be able to make direct MO connections, given that you didn't personally interact with them in the underworld. Because they were also talking about taking control and building up an empire of the unseen, of the spirits and shit.
Right. True. All right. I think that's all the questions, unless anyone else in the scene wants to.
This Heart Eater is acting as your familiar without your consent. Her plan right now is to just keep, even if you kill this dog of the earth, she will keep badgering you with minor gods until you accept her offer.
Yeah, that seems about right. Other questions. What would be some examples of other questions?
You can improv stuff in the general.
What haven't I noticed about the character? We can also improvise things. How could I get the character to do what I want is a neat one.
They already seem fully on board, albeit for malicious motives. I guess what haven't we noticed would be a good one.
All right.
Kind of ties.
It's gonna be.
That ties into what I noted out of character earlier that you realize in character is this person is A, stronger in terms of sheer spiritual power and essence motivation and essence patterns, and B, knows what they're doing way more than the economy did. And you were able to pick up from that one duel with him that a Heart Eater draws on the power of those that they've shackled to their will to become stronger. If she is able to take over the entire pantheon of Prasad like she wants to do, her essence is going to balloon pretty astronomically. And she could conquer the entire direction pretty fucking easily with that. Possibly beyond. This might become a whole Parasite Eve situation.
Oh, that's not good.
If any of you guys have read the Power Fantasy, she could cause the second summer of love.
I can't say I have, but that sounds insane.
I think you guys would like it.
Prasad is an empire of slavers,
Actually,
right?
no, that's Ysir. Prasad is one of the
Okay.
very few
I got
policies
confused.
in Exalted that explicitly forbids slavery in name. They still have caste systems, which, well...
Oh.
has its own interesting set of
Which is like,
issues. But
indentured servitude, and it's like, we figure out a way to put the thing to do the same thing, but put it in a different name. Oof, that would require me to look up some Prasadi politics if I want to try and get him on a loophole here.
By now, this Heart Eater in the dog form is laying down in the Let's Play pose.
all right.
Thanks, Scoop.
Is that all the questions Aura has, or doth she have?
So far, I'm kind of down with just having those. Frankly,
What if the annoying dog from Undertale, but evil, is this critter's vibe?
Yeah, that seems about right.
Okay.
So lots of people.
So you want to offer your help in terms of liberating in our quest to confront Prasad.
As I've said, I have no interest in mortals at the current span of my life I'm in. I'm more interested in aiming my gaze higher, and as we all know, gods aren't people.
Right.
You mentioned wanting to make the world a better place. I seem to be coming across a lot of people that have been telling me that exact damned thing recently. So tell me, what is your interpretation of a better world?
One where there are no gods.
That immediately piqued Gavel's interest.
Oh no, we share some intimacies. Oh no!
No gods. None.
I recognize there's going to have to be elementals, but those are a separate thing.
So what? You, given your nature, especially after
You're gonna eat them.
you're what? You're going to basically form a wall of death around all the gods you inhabit and just crash course all of them into each other?
Yeah. And replace them with ghosts. People who have actually lived human lives and know what the world is actually like, as opposed to those immortal pieces of shit living in Yushan doing nothing.
Can I roll intent on that? I want to know if she's lying.
Yeah, roll read intentions.
Okay, what's that again?
What
What attribute ability?
embassy or awareness?
I have a bunch in embassy.
And she
Do I
is
have an
not going to be
excellency?
spending an enhancer on this, due to reasons that'll become apparent if you succeed.
Wow, alright. I'm gonna spend an excellency for this. No. Greater than. Not slash. 15D. Greater than 7. My brain will work. Wow! 3 successes.
Her resolve is... Do you want to spend that stunt you have banked?
Sure, I'll spend it now. Might as well. So that's 2 extra
Yep.
dice. Alright. 1 additional success.
This is modified down by one of her intimacies, so you do succeed.
Okay.
She believes she wants to make the world a better place.
All right.
She thinks that she is doing, or she wants to think that she's doing the right thing.
Okay, so the elemental, sure. What about embodiments of the more positive aspects of, well, for simplicity's sake, let's just say living.
Oh, that's the interesting thing, is that a lot of those concepts handle themselves thanks to that fancy loom of fate they invented up there.
Which
Archive
I
My
presume
Mentality,
you would eventually...
you're pretty sure that's not true.
Oh. I'm not quite sure about that detail.
Well,
but
we can work our way
what?
through creation down here before we go up there to figure out the specifics.
Let me guess. You're just going to keep... If I say no, you're just going to follow me around until I say yes. Or go off and rat us out to our enemies anyway, won't you?
Why would I rat you out to your enemies?
To try and trick them into getting you into position to achieve your own goals.
Well, you're implying that I can't be in many places at once trying to catch multiple fish in the same net.
This is correct.
And now that I've made you
seem
aware
to
of
be...
me, the paranoia will set in.
Oh, trust me, we already dealt with that with your, I don't know how particular relation... Would that be your cousin that we have in...
If you want to compare me to that
we-
oaf, then yes, I suppose so.
It's the best iteration of simple mind, shall we say, can offer. But either way, fine, you can join us for now. Because I don't think there's a good way out of this anyway. But we are certainly going to be discussing philosophies about betterment of the world later.
I'm gonna have Emerald Al Saiduk roll a build will roll.
Okay.
And this is with an excellency.
Wow.
Yep, including build power and focus will actions. Solar Death Ray. And the dog is immediately disintegrated.
Wow!
And the beam sweeps the skyline, nailing every single pawn in the area. Like a fucking Ava laser beam. Or an ultra pivot Kamehameha.
Oh!
Did Gavel witness Emerald doing that?
No.
No? Alright.
And I would also note there's no collateral damage. This was a very precision fire beam.
Thank goodness. But
Oh my god.
also, Gavel's jaw just drops.
Same. I'm right in here. I was like, oh, my son?
By the fucking Yosi.
After a few moments, Emerald wheels herself in.
That was
I'm
scary.
sorry, I saw one of the brain nappers and assumed you wanted me to kill them.
Well, kind of. A little bit, yeah. I mean, I appreciate it, but...
That's a solid presumption
Jesus.
to work on, but...
That was... Wow. That was efficient.
That was quite...
Well done.
That was scary, but impressive.
The entire
Indeed.
camp is littered with god carcasses. She had
dogs.
hundreds of pawns.
Wow!
Hidden in secret to try and
Man,
follow you, that she just immediately sniped.
Now I just feel bad for the dogs.
Yeah, there's a whole fucking pack
Poor
of
dogs.
god dogs that are now disintegrating.
Oh.
Although I suspect that this will not be the last that we see of them.
You can bet that if there's one thing that Heart Eaters are,
We
it's
cut to the
persistent.
Heart Eater in the Yamcha crater incapacitated right now. They just took the overflow damage from all their pawns being fucking deleted, and that was aggravated damage, so it's gonna be a bit until they come back.
Okay, so we get a little bit of
I guess at
breather.
least that buys us some time.
Get a little bit of breather room. Goodness.
If we can work on the invasion without dealing with them, that would be
The audience hears one line.
But
This isn't blood, it's victory wine.
You know, I just thought of something,
Though they're-
Aurora.
Mm-hmm.
If we decided to make the completely foolish decision of letting them do what they wanted, we could have tried to pit them against Final Glimmer.
Good point.
But I think that would have been a bit too foolish on our part, maybe.
Maybe caught between a rock and a hard place.
But let's put that in our back pockets for later, shan't we?
No matter who wins that fight, we're in for a lot of trouble.
Yes, but...
Well, immediately afterward.
Yes, but we could always play the opportunist, and whoever wins, we kick the other while they're down.
Suppose so. Well, though our encounter with this individual has raised up an interesting point. We should be careful not to engage in any conflicts in a conflict needlessly. We never know who might benefit from our actions without our consent.
Yes, it seems that too many wandering eyes seems to be going our way recently with this whole campaign against Prasad. I don't like it.
If you loot, as long as we keep in mind our convictions, we could try to make sure that as least people benefit from it unknowingly as possible.
Ah, yes.
Now back to the war. Now back to the travel venture.
Onwards!
That was
No.
Did Lythander see any of that shit? Not even the fucking Kamehameha.
Yeah.
I'm presuming you were just taking
Lythander
a power
doesn't
nap
exist.
in the Gaul somewhere or something. Yeah.
I'm trying to make sense of the cost of this.
Yeah,
of
in
these
the
ventures.
distance, Abigail. What the fuck was that? You could just do that anytime? Well, yeah, I could, but I made very sure not to hit any of you. You're welcome. Oh, God.
That was scary.
And yeah, you could tell, like, your generals are just kind of unnerved by how casually Emerald deployed a super weapon that deals infinite damage.
Gavel just calls out to the troops, "This is why they're on our side!"
That helps a little bit, but no amount of motivational speeches you could give, even if you're the direct commander, can stop the constant furtive glances.
Yeah, that's fair. As long as they're at least a little bit at ease, that's fine.
Next up is going to have a -2 penalty thanks to the secluded quality of the Eye of the Killing Storm. It is going to be a difficulty 6 navigate check in order to get through the horrors.
All right, Aura.
All right, here we go.
This is your one. Let's
As
do
the
it.
deeper as you get into the next few weeks of travel, the entire biomes around you keep shifting rapidly. Not like you're in a wild pocket. These are more natural and more sensical than that. It's more like a bunch of terrain types just kind of plop themselves and randomize themselves next to you, like overlapping biomes in Minecraft. Like, for a solid hours of march, you're in a deep forested jungle. Then all of a sudden, you're in a freezing cold Arctic desert. Then in another, you're on a nice temperate rolling plain of grass. Then on the next one, you have to hike past a mountain. And this is with a 2 dice penalty.
Oof.
Uh-oh.
Oh, 2 dice penalty? Then let me
There's a
reroll
chance
that.
you'll do better.
Please.
There's a chance it'll be better.
Please.
It technically was,
Slightly
but
better.
not by
Spend that
much.
bank stunt, because it's just a difficulty 6 check.
I will. I'll try. Well, Can't make it 4 dice, but... Oh well, that's 2 1s.
Unfortunately, that's a failure on this step of the venture. I think I know what that failure step is going to be. You've prepared for a lot of different types of terrain and travel in this journey. You didn't prepare for all of them happening at once. Your supplies get pretty fucking stretched thin, and while you're able to mollify that and keep people fed with Lythander's flask, it still adds a couple days worth of time to the journey. And in terms of any cosmic time span, that's not really a big delay. Except for the factor that, what happened to the chimeric war beasts from Madara?
I don't know.
Oh, well, there they are. You find them all unconscious after a couple hours of searching. Like several miles away. They do wake after being roused a little bit, but they all show some minor injuries. Like someone carved out a chunk of flesh with with a sharp ice cream scoop.
Could I investigate? Does the wound have any? Do the wounds have any?
Any of you guys could do
you
guys could do an awareness check. If Lythander does, he could add his backing in the silver packs to the roll.
Alrighty, and what was the rolls again?
All
Sorry.
right, Lythander, you know what to do.
Awareness plus fortitude.
Awareness
plus fortitude.
Awareness plus fortitude.
Plus my ally merit, then. 5 successes.
Hey, that looks an awful lot like a non-lethal version of a sacred hunt to steal an animal shape. Applied to several hundred different varieties of chimeric war beasts. Mr. Nail just got a hefty paycheck in his library of a bunch of new horrors he could use as a shape.
What am I saying nice to? That's not nice at all. That's scary. Ooh.
I just imagine that little noise being what you manage to notice. Ooh. All right. The next step here is going to be an embassy roll of demanding an audience as you happen across a small pair of what seem like normal camel herders, except the camel's humps are absurdly big.
Huh.
Like, you know how normal camels' humps are like the size of a soccer ball or something? These humps are inexplicably the size of a truck. And yet the camels are moving with no care in the world as if they're like only the size of a normal fat deposit. The herders riding between them because they're not riding them on horseback. There's no way that you could balance on animals of that ungainly a build. This is absolutely a wizard made these animals as a cruel joke. Or as walking water deposits, perhaps. In any case, one of them just looks at you and barks something in a language you don't understand. Embassy check to try and negotiate and haggle passage to the big cheese's domain.
Let's see. I have 5 embassy. Or I presume you also have 5 embassy.
I have 4, but I do have an excellency.
This is going to be with a...
I also have an excellency in embassy.
This is going to be with a -3 penalty. Because...
-3? Okay.
They don't speak any languages you guys know of. Unless you have means of breaching the language barrier.
Hold on. Yes, I do. Strange tongue understanding. Especially with unshattered tongue perfection. The Infernal speaks an ancient language, an ancient tongue that may be understood by all others, but cannot inspire or draw on positive intimacies.
There we go.
Alright, I'm going to spend a mote for that.
That eliminates the...
Oh, I also have strange tongue understanding.
Excellent. Yes, I will commit a mote for that. And that gets rid of the dice penalty? Okay. Please be kind and full of grace. 5 successes.
Difficulty 5. So you make it.
Oh my goodness.
See, here's the confusing thing. There seems to be some kind of fell magic about these guys' minds where normally you're pretty persuasive in regards to the perfect omni tongue, but they seem naturally suspicious of people with that kind of magic. Like, if you are speaking some kind of Esperanto universal omni language, that seems to make them more suspicious of you. You know what does sway, though? They're camels.
Huh.
The camels immediately begin braying at each other, and one of them, you could swear it fucking nods back to you, as one of them flips over, and the other camel deliberately punctures its hump, and it flies away in a jet of water and blood.
Oh my goodness.
The camel herders seem more mildly annoyed than anything, as they just run after trying to chase it back in vain.
Well then.
That's not a sight you could miss, and that's absolutely something Bloodnail would have noticed by now.
Yeah.
That's the end of the main travel section of the adventure, as you come across a city made entirely of bones.
I love studio bones.
Hey, most of those are human bones. Or, at the very least, attack animals like elephants and war dogs and other stranger beasts. That don't exist in the real life, like Rhytons and Thunderbirds.
What do you mean? Thunderbirds exist in real life?
They do?
No.
Oh.
Well, yes and no. Yes.
It's a very macabre city to the point. Lythander, you're reasonably sure this whole place is a fucking Shadowland, just from being made out of bones.
I like bones.
There's like a very what you're pretty sure is a local god of decay and spirits, and that takes the form of a giant walking mushroom. Stops across the street. The Bloodnail has agreed to see the seething moon. You may enter.
Really, the seething moon?
Yes, what about me?
I'm just surprised. Go right ahead, Lythander. Work your
I'll
stuff.
walk in.
The Nail will also accept a visit from his circle.
I don't have a circle, so let's go.
The camera pans and focuses on the rest of the party.
Fine, that's a lie. I do have my friends here. They can join.
By this point, Nue would have split off in order to get to Palanquin and protect it from what you guys now know to be the Heart Eater. She sensed a big threat, she just wasn't aware of the exact nature of it. After another time worth of hike through a really fucked up city of death, inexplicably it also seems to be a pretty normal-ass city of nomadic peoples making homes and growing some semi-nomadic crops, tending animals, in a city that stinks of death and people importing and exporting and crafting out of bones. You see a lot of people, like masons and shit, using some thaumaturgical low magic in order to shape bones like it were clay. It's fucking metal, is what it is. And you see a number of Ashen ones trying to take notes on the matter, that are part of Stargater's general tribe. We should tell the boss about this. He might be interested. Yeah, we should try building stuff from the bones of our enemies.
They're pretty resourceful.
That's my army for
And
you.
at the very center of the lance of the House of the Shattered Lance, you are led into the center into a grand cathedral with a secret door beyond it. Let me make sure I'm not closing roll 20 for this. Where you see a tall, powerfully built figure in full lunar warthorn, spines constantly dripping with blood, who looks an awful lot like this figure.
Oh my goodness sakes.
That's just Shadow the Hedgehog.
Shadow T. Hedgehog.
Dude, I'm a huge fan!
Well,
Nope.
hello
Best
there.
friends with Chris Angel, didn't you know?
Stands up from meditating in a circle. I greet you, my fellow Shahanya.
Hello there.
I take it you must
Greetings
be
and
the
salutations.
I take it you must be the Ashen Ones, or at least their commanding forces. Normally, I prefer to communicate via omens because I find it's best to let the mortals delegate and plan their own battle strategies while I handle the cosmic matters. But as a fellow Circle of Exalted, it seemed more appropriate to speak face to face. Before that, I must ask a question as to how long you will be here for.
Describe here exactly, on this continent, in the eye of the killing storm that you've set yourself here for.
In terms of the general radius of the Dragon Bloods and their realm, as their outcropping of it is.
Well, I believe that answer will immediately get to discussions that we came here to do. We will be here until the Empire of Prasad falls.
Given that we all have comparable lifespans, I see no need to... That will not be an issue then. The facilities around here are not for long-term guests, but I have heard tale of the pocket world you have access to, so housing our troops and their descendants won't be an issue. Welcome.
Indeed.
What do you want to do with the goal?
We graciously thank you for welcoming us into your domain.
The only other thing I will note is, since time is not of the issue, we could spend a few more years performing the same observations I've been doing, and waiting for the right time to strike, which I'm not sure is now. Have you read their warbook, The 1,000 Correct Actions of the Upright Soldier? Never interrupt your enemy when she is in the process of making a mistake. Of which they are right now.
Gavel smiles a bit at that. I see. Yes, I've read that book quite a few times myself.
There are far too many uncertainties for us to act now. Anyhow, too many power politics that could go into play were we to immediately engage the enemy at this time. We must devise a plan carefully. Calculate the people who can benefit and who we must be wary to leave out of the equation.
Quite. We certainly have several years before that bitch passes away. Or no, I don't think he would actually use gendered insults. We certainly have a few years until that Rani Satrap kicks the bucket. Though unfortunately, she seems to have realized this too and started partaking of the drugs. I doubt she's the sorceress type to cultivate immortality in any of the traditional senses, but I do have sources that indicate she's begun taking an age-starving cordial, as I've heard described. She's intending to cling to that until either she's able to find that fucking heir of hers, or she dies of natural causes to prevent the other royal polities from taking power.
Anything to cling to that last little bit of life, I suppose.
So why don't we just let Saturn handle things, and we will time our strikes for the moment when she passes away in perhaps some 50, 100-odd years.
Because unfortunately there's another matter that is not that patient enough to wait for us.
Are you referring to that silver mist that tried to sneak its way in here before I ripped out its heart?
Not quite, unfortunately. Are you familiar with the name Final Glimmer of Fallen Star?
Sounds sufficiently ominous. I have heard tale of a horrific death that came to a place far away called Thorns. Is it one of those?
A Death Lord.
I've heard the title, at least. But
yes, it seems that they're not too keen on waiting, so...
And yet they've been active in the underworld for at least several centuries now.
Indeed. Cultivating, planning, and waiting to strike. which is happening soon, within months, if not weeks.
And the nature of this attack being...
What's it? I always forget the name of the thing.
It has a bunch of them, no worries. She's making a cursed ultra artifact to infect the Loom of Fate and make every possible course of action and decision and possibility have the worst possible outcome.
Okay, yes. They're basically constructing... They're going to corrupt the Loom of Fate itself, so that any possibility leads to its demise, to a demise of some kind or another. Yours, mine, everyone's.
And I do sincerely thank you for warning me about that, because I will be able to take precautions now. Once that goes off, I will be able to protect my own and my own troops' interests and possibilities as Prasad crumbles.
Wouldn't you rather have a hand in stopping it yourself?
Not if it hurts the dragon-blooded.
We're already going to be on our way to hurt the dragon-blooded ourselves. So why don't you join us and we can accelerate the timetable so that, well, we don't have to rely on any sort of doom engine.
How long have you been exalted for, child?
Oh, about 30 years, thereabouts.
Brief note is, player characters are only assumed to have been exalted for a year or 5 at most.
Ah, I see. 4 years.
I was born 600 years ago. I have been exalted for 570 of those by my last estimate. I've seen at least one generation of those usurpers die. Perhaps 2, depending on how foolhardy they are. Time is our greatest weapon of just outlasting them. In my human form, I haven't aged a day since I first took the second breath and Luna came to see me.
And I am glad to hear that. But the attack that Final Glimmer of Fallen Star will inflict is not going to just affect the Empire Prasad. It's going to spread all over creation itself. There's no telling what kind of irrecoverable outcomes and damages will happen because of it.
Thankfully, I have magics of my own, and I'm sure that many of my others in the Silver Pact have access to the same capabilities of countering weapons that inflict fiat-level damage to Fate itself. There is actually a lunar charm that explicitly allows you to deflect and counter prophecy.
Huh.
So this is something that, like, Roxy and Mahasuchi and Leviathan would at least have the capabilities of bouncing off of, so this is not an empty bluff.
And what about those who don't have such means?
Oh, once they're brought under our protection and we expand our dominions, things will be going better for them.
And how long would you expect that to take? Assuming that they live long enough to get within your gracious borders.
Oh, once they learn that we're our only protection, they'll come running to us. As fast as their feet can carry.
And if it turns out that Fate catches up to them first, what then?
Well, that's why we'll be rapidly expanding at the time.
And how do you think your expansion project, how fast do you think you can go in terms of years, months, decades?
His smile does start to falter a little bit at this, as he is kind of coming to the realization that, oh, the waiting game would be working against me in this favor. But not completely, as he eventually, gets the poker face going again. And how fast is this attack going to be going? I wasn't aware of the specific nature of the curse that she was warping, but I had received premonitions from a messenger of Luna that such dangers were imminent in the area, and had been making preparations accordingly for the past few years.
According to our intel, what, it was like half a year is when we
when it goes off.
Or yeah.
Which is a few months away.
Oh, lovely. Calibration is when we expect this Doom engine to be fully realized. We don't have much time, and we need as many allies as we can if we want to put.
You're
going
gonna
to
need to make a persuade action on him.
Oh boy! All right. What should I roll for that?
Presence, please.
Presence. Oh boy.
You could also use warfare if you're just talking in terms of the logistics here. This is the barter 100 check to talk down Legate Linnaeus.
Do I have any charms that deal with my presence? Let me double check. That was once per story.
This would also allow for aid actions, too, from other people if they want to help. Or if they would rather take the charge from Gavel and explain and trying to slap this guy across the face and say, no, now is when we need to do this shit. Your protections aren't good enough.
I would like to try.
Okay.
Aura, if you, go right ahead, Aura. Let's see that magic do. Let's see that silver tongue do wonders.
All right. Let's attempt a. I guess this would be a weaken action, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would.
Ah, perfect. I can use hypnotic tongue technique the way it was intended for it to be used. They have their best. I attempt to convince the target they have their best interests at heart. I can roll a special weaken action with their essence in bonus successes instead of spending successes for the usual set. The next persuade action to benefit from their intimacy as though it was in accordance with it. Okay.
He's
Let's
spending
see
an
here.
integrity excellency and using a major intimacy to bolster.
Integrity excellency.
Yes.
And I roll embassy, right?
Embassy or presence.
I will be rolling embassy. There we go. All right. And just so I understand, essentially we're trying to convince this guy that plan needs to go.
Stop waiting around and act now, you bastard.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot at stake. All right, that's 7, and I do believe and thanks to hypnotic tongue technique, I get I can roll a special weaken. I rolled a special weaken action when it says the target when the solar attempts to convince a target they had their best interest at heart, and roll a special weaken action with his essence and bonus successes. Does it mean the target's essence or my essence?
Let me read through the exact wording. 1 second.
Spend 2 motes. When the solar attempts to convince a target he has their best interests at heart, and roll a special weaken action with his essence and bonus successes.
With your essence and bonus successes.
Okay, so 4 bonus successes. That's 10 successes.
He has boosted his resolve to a total of 7. Now, unfortunately, you only have 3 successes.
I have 10.
He boosted his grand resolve to a total of 7.
Right. So I have 3 overflowing successes.
And you need 4 in order for hypnotic tongue technique to proc.
I know, but I don't.
But you could still spend the 3 on the weekend. It just means that you can't use the thing to benefit from the targeted intimacy of mistrust of the solar.
Yeah, the next time I would persuade, yes, but I can't do that yet.
Yeah,
so
but
it's fine.
You can just do the weekend towards his intimacy of letting time be his greatest weapon.
Yes.
Out of curiosity, what do you say for this to sink in, though? Because that could be a stunt that means it works.
Let's see. How can I spin this? You see, what can I call Mr. Nail? For a long time, I'd been an employer of this gradual change. Time had benefited me in a lot of the weight of time had benefited me in a lot of ways. But time is not a resource that is only usable by me. In my enemies, in the past have utilized the passage of time for all sorts of deeds. Sometimes the passage of time, it can cause a dreadful act to become harder to remember. It can be utilized to gradually wear down the mind of a people and cause them to become jaded. Although we may be able to save the future, opportunity can be a weapon just as powerful as the waves of time. If only one knows where to strike. They are both tools, and they require the right time to be utilized. Prasad is an empire that has time on their side, in my opinion. They have the potency to maintain their rule over time. They can extend the lifespan of their most dangerous rulers, and after a while, thanks to continued indoctrination, you'll find that they can make their youth into just as strong a mouthpiece as the rulers are currently present. The things we notice now, we must strike at them while the iron is hot, so to speak. At least that's what I think.
Okay, that basically cuts through all of his self-justifications and shit. So go ahead and add 2 dice for a stunt to see if you can do the super weekend with the bonus actions. Nope.
Hold on.
If this was
I think that would qualify as being part of my... Yep, it does. Okay, yeah. I think I would qualify as being benefiting from my intimacy. So I think I roll 4.
Which intimacy would this be, just to check?
Let's see. It's a new intimacy that I got from that talk with Gavel. You must act. I must act.
Okay, so in terms of not just sitting on your feet and letting this shit muster, which actually does key into in other versions of Exalted for what Essence Fever is. For Solar Essence Fever, it always spurs you to action when it flares up.
Mm-hmm.
You always get an inbuilt call to adventure, is the solar flavor of that, which makes sense for it to be kicking in here and compelling you.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that will allow you to benefit from the next persuasion in accordance with mistrust of the Solar Exalted, funnily enough.
Mm.
He mistrusts you more than he mistrusts what his enemies are doing. So via very funny implementation of this is working out.
Very strange.
Yeah, he mistrusts you so much he's listening to you.
He is trying to carefully find the point at which my argument is bad, and he has to listen to my argument fully and intently to do it.
Let me find the requisite Shadow the Hedgehog expression he is making. Thank you, Google Image results. This is the one part of Google.
I'm glad you found it so quickly.
This is the face he's making.
What I'm trying to get at is that this conflict is one that demands swift and decisive action. Their generals are accountable for now, but while we wait and plan, much of their they won't be merely sitting around. It is important. I find that it's important that we take the opportunities that are given to us and strike while the iron is hot.
I think he's gonna hard bargain out of this.
Out of the persuade?
Yeah.
All right.
So this final Glimba is truly as big of a threat as you say she is, then. If she is going to be moving so soon, and yet my troops, as loath as I am to admit it, still need more time to be built up for the grand assault, and Prasad is still as fragmented as they are until Rohavin dies, until the Rani Satrap is no more, and they're in the midst of that succession crisis, especially with her extending her life for now. It's still going to be too soon. If Fallen Star's invention, and perhaps her herself, depending on how strong her own prowess is, were to be taken off the table, then we could return to the matter at hand. I won't help you beat Prasad, but I'll help you punch the final boss.
That sounds like a good
Fine, fair
trade.
enough, I suppose. That's a decent compromise.
I will not interrupt your attacks on Prasad, and you're not planning on trying to kill them all overnight, are you? Given their sidereal, exigent, and divine backers, even if dragon bloods are relatively easy to kill one-on-one in my experience. As a full moon lunar, who are the combat juggernauts, and which none of you guys are. Why didn't none of you spec into close combat?
I spec into close combat. I have
Yeah,
five
but
in
you have a
close
different
combat,
cast,
I think.
so it's a little
True.
different.
Yes.
In any case, even it's still going to be too soon for anyone to completely cut the head of the snake off, but if you insist on... Are you planning on conquering Prasad right here and now? Or are you merely planning to tear out the snake's fangs?
We're here to rip the adder's fangs out of its mouth.
Logistically speaking, a dragged out conflict with Prasad would be far too risky for an army of our size. We had enough trouble.
Also, you first, sorry.
We had enough trouble merely fending off. Their off a wild hunt. What would I call it in this time? A few months ago?
Yeah. It would at least have been several seasons since then.
A few seasons ago. Several seasons ago. And
yeah, that would have been in probably the season of water. You are in at least the season of wood or perhaps fire.
we had to having to fend off the wild hunt back in the season of wood was already a harsh enough reminder of our limitations. A knockout, drag-out conflict, I think, with Prasad would be far too risky to allow to happen, especially considering that we are fighting in their domain. Rather,
And from archive... Oh, you first, sorry.
Rather, what we intend to do is to deliver a precise, weakening strike into their major offensive force. Something to impede Prasad, something to occupy and impede Prasad from making and from continuing to make terrible decisions for the time being. Something that can sufficiently influence that region and buy us the time to deal with the matter at hand, with other matters in the meantime afterward. After which then we may be able to return with a better understanding of the land and potentially extend the remainder of the conflict afterward, possibly after dealing with Final Glimmer of Fallen Stars to begin with.
Very well. While I will keep my troops in reserve to avoid endangering them, I will gladly feed you the intel I have relevant to the major points of attack you seek to engage with. Instead, I will send omens to my troops to embark them on a holy crusade towards the sea.
Mm-hmm.
With my assistance from the back and the gods I have working for me, it won't be too difficult to send a bunch of blessings their way to ease and smooth their travel in time
Indeed.
to get there before your deadline. And as a note from Gavel, Archive Mind Mentality, killing Prasad here and now would also be a bad idea because the Heart Eater, I don't think he knows that she exists. Bloodnail does not know about her plans of immediately taking over literally all of Prasad. Full fucking B of
Oh,
me.
I thought he was referencing that earlier.
He knows that she's there. He doesn't know what she's planning.
Oh yes, by the way, you should also know, that little disturbance you had mentioned earlier. We had spoken to them earlier and had found out some of their plans. Which, once the Empire of Prasad falls, they intend to, well, for lack of a better term, infect the gods and become the new Prasadi pantheon all by themselves.
His perma smile actually does drop off as he just kind of takes a step back and is considering the gravity of all of this.
And also wants to kill all the gods.
Thought they could only control mortals. That is considerably a bigger problem. Do you have any idea where their physical body is?
Unfortunately, I do not.
Somnia just pops in. Somewhere near Yazir from this map. Who the hell are you?
Oh yes, this is a demon I summoned.
Wait a minute. And he actually does narrow his eyes. I suppose it's a cosmic circumstance then. If you're the type of demon I think you are, you might recognize this. And he raises what we might recognize, what you guys would recognize as a gateway piece, which is exalted version of fancy chess. It's like a combination of chess, shogi, and a grand strategy game like Risk. And Somnia's face falls. Oh fuck! It is Sigareth.
Sigareth.
Hold on, that's a new name, I think. Let me.
The player of games. They're the reason I did this podcast with a Yu-Gi-Oh quote, because they have this person's personality. Or, well, this person and another person. They're a mix of this individual.
Of course.
And this one.
Yu-Gi boy.
The player of games can turn literally any kind of encounter or situation they're in into a game and let people bet anything on anything. They're tough to be a direct combatant because if you try and engage them in a fight, this is something Gavel would know through reputation, they turn it into forcefully a game.
Oh.
Directly punching them is very, very difficult. Because they always put in some Final Fantasy Tactics rules into the situation. Like, you can only punch me after you've collected this many stars.
Oh my goodness.
This reminds me. That information you gave us is very... The information regarding the soon-to-end rule of that, what did you call them?
The Ronnie Satrap.
Mm-hmm. It's very useful information.
Is her personal name.
The one, the intention of the intention of the attack is to weaken Prasad in a way that they would be left unable to deal with. There is one way in which I think it could be done. If the concern over the change up of the rule is something that you are seeking to wait out until that individual dies and the descent has been fully sown, why not place that concern into immediately place that concern into the hands of the people? Why not rush them with that kind of sentiment? What I'm suggesting is, in order to begin defanging the snake, the primary method that I would devise is to sow dissent into the population of Prasad.
Go ahead and make that persuade attempt, and this is benefiting from that intimacy of mistrust of you. You don't trust me? Let the people decide then.
We're going to create an opportunity for a pincer attack. From outside of from one side, will be attacking from outside of Prasad. And also, we will have dissenters placed on, and defectors placed on the inside. We will have convinced Prior to join our cause.
The issue being is if you're having the mortals rebel, there's only so much they can do against those who could set you on fire with a mere touch or suck the air from your lungs with a gesture.
Well,
unless you have some means of and teeing you up for what you're about to pitch him.
Have you are you familiar with the what is it called? What was it called?
Tulpa.
No, the other thing, the thing that came before, the thing that inspired my thing that came before.
Exigency?
Are you familiar with the system of exigency?
Yes, of the gods petitioning your patron for borrowing his spark and burning themselves on a funeral pyre to make mini exalts. Or, no, actual exalts. He would instead say, burning themselves on a pyre to make their own chosen.
Yes. Well, the system that there was a system put in place that had allowed all the mortals to have access to magic. Tools to combat the...
Oh, right, the Selenian working.
The Selenian working. That's what I was trying to refer to.
That was what makes sorcery universally. Anyone can learn it if they look for the right tools and signs.
Yes. Well...
Also, as a brief aside, this is what Sigareth could do if you try and get her in a sniper duel.
And what I...
Sorry, continue.
There was an inner working that I had been planning for some time now. I had already organized a team that would make it possible to be implemented. I have a foreman ready to build the infrastructure for it, but it would essentially allow mortals to summon their own elemental forces into battle, to defend themselves. It would create a super ley line that would stretch across the lands and be accessible to anyone. With that kind of power, those that have been denied it might stand a fighting chance, even in the presence of those chosen by the gods.
How would you prevent this system from being misused? The Selenian working is what you're saying as building the framework. Giving sorcery to everyone might not have been the best idea, given... And he just kind of gestures in the direction of Ysir.
Well, think of it like this. The necessity... What is the basic necessity for summoning an elemental?
Will and the power to do so.
If there is one thing that we would be introducing a third component into the requirement. Disparity. It works like a system of checks and balances. If the system detects that you have some previous affiliation, then you would be rejected. An affiliation with a strong power, or that you have some kind of tool that you are affiliated with, some kind of god or presence, then it would not allow you to utilize that power. However, those without power, those left behind with the will and know-how, would be allowed to. Like a system of passwords, only distributed to the right people.
Go ahead and roll that persuasion.
Think of it
benefiting from this.
Think of it like a test trial. Only those accepted and with the password can enter her into the domain. Those would have to be distributed only to the people that they trust. By the way,
this is a topic. Oh, yeah.
With a bonus, you said?
Yeah, his resolve is being lowered as a result of hypnotic tongue technique.
Okay. Then, I think I did roll, though, right? The 15 D10?
Oh, okay, then yeah.
With
All right,
that would
that
be
works, then.
another. That would be 11 6. That would be Hold on. 1 2 3 4.
Hypnotic tongue wasn't used on this one again.
Right, so that's 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 successes.
Yep, and even with the modifier down and the excellency boosts it up, that is a success with 3 overflow.
Nice.
This is going to require further refinement, and I am not the man to have this discussion with. One of my students, Lys of the Many Skins, was more skilled and apt at philosophical matters. Unfortunately, they took it upon themselves to infiltrate Prasad as a prisoner. I don't know how well that's going for them.
That's perfect. We already have some... That means we already have a contact.
I think this is actually where we're going to end the session off, because A, it's getting late, and B, Alatos' hard shutdown time is fast approaching. But this is going to be a good pivot to cut to the inside of a Prasadi monastery, where a woman with a woman with cow horns growing out of her head and glowing with anima is waiting at the front of the prison, where a monk approaches with their hands drenched in blood. You were right. She was subverting us. The Lunar's dead. And you made very sure of it. Yes. And we cut to a few moments earlier when he actually did land the killing blow. And Lys of the Many Skins, even as she was dying, smiled, as in her death she activated her final grand contingency plan. And the other locks in the prison click open. And as she dies, the exaltation flies back up, and Lythander, for a moment you look outside the window idly and see a glint of pure power flying towards the full moon.
That's not good.
It means one of your brethren just died.
Yeah.
Probably.
Well, that's what I said. That's not good.
Yeah, it's flying back up to Luna so they can pick someone new, like you heard might happen. And unfortunately, it means you don't have a contact anymore. Asterisks. But that's something none of you guys know in character yet.
Yeah.
And that's something for next time. So, next time is going to be the start of the actual war on Prasad, now that you have secured enough allies both for the immediate future and for the endgame.
Indeed.
Points of egress and starting the big battle. Oh, right.
Oh my goodness. Our dear patrons, of course.
Thank you
How
very
can we
much
forget
to
about that?
DB and Storm for supporting us at the 6-sided dice tier. We really should call it the 5-sided dice since it's $5. I'm not going to raise the price. That just seems wrong. And in the near future, we've discussed plans for the next part of our JoJo campaign to resume in the next few months at some point. And FateBreakers is gonna ramp up a little in the recording schedule and should end in a couple months. We're probably gonna aim to record the last episode at the end of this year and have the finale out at some point at least a month or ish after that.
Remember,
Then I'm gonna take a break from GMing for a couple months to live my life, but I would probably come back for a smaller campaign.
Yeah, I was about to say, you've been DMing this campaign for the better part of, what, 3 years now?
3 years now.
it's all coming to cake.
So, absolutely understandable.
Yeah, thank you for letting me run a game I wanted to run for a decade, though.
Absolutely.
Although we're not done with that. Next time is going to be the lead-in for the big war and the strategic strikes against one of the POIs, which we'll discuss off camera.
So-
See you guys then for next time.
Wait, does this mean after this we go back to Pokemon Tabletop United?
No, God, no. All respect to the people who built that game, running that system once was enough. I might run Animon, though. We'll see if we feel with that. See you guys later.
Take care. Bye.
Thank you for listening to FateBreakers. We here at the Action Economy crew are proud to bring you this and other AP content, like Tomb of the Red Giant, the first half of our complete JoJo's Bizarre Adventure AP, as well as Rune Runners, our Icon AP.
We'll also have a Patreon by the time you hear this. If you like what you've heard so far, feel free to drop us a little bit of money if you can afford to do so, and we could bring you even more content in the future. APs live and die by word of mouth, so if you liked us, please drop us a follow, like, share, retweet, whatever you could think of to help us out. We are excited to bring you more bi-weekly content in 2 weeks from now for the next FateBreakers, and other episodes time permitting. See you then.